Well, I had barely got my shoes tied and sat down. We were down 20-12, I think. So it was that fast. They jumped on us right away. They played really well at the start. They played with great energy and pace and made shots. And we took a timeout and, tried to settle things in a little bit as we played. And no, it's a 40-minute game. And once we settled in, our defense picked up. And I think, they had 20. I don't know at what point in the game. Was it 10 minutes in? And then they ended up with 24 for the half. And then we held them to 14 the second half. So our defense picked up and set the tone for the game. They like to backdoor. They like to cut. But our ball pressure was a major factor. They had 20 turnovers. And they had a tough time, even if a guy was open, finding them because the ball pressure was so great. And then we did a good job on the glass again, doubled them up in rebounds, had 24 offensive rebounds, following our 15 at Boise. So we're doing good on the glass right now. I wish we'd have shot the ball better. 36% from the field is, okay, but it's not good enough in most games. We made threes, but our percentage was low. I think we were 6 for 26. So, but BJ, it was good to see BJ and Nick knock them down. That will bode well for their confidence moving forward. But good, a good team performance. Now we have to go back to work tomorrow. No day off. We play in 2 days at the pit at 11 a.m. in Albuquerque time. And so we have to do just enough tomorrow to make sure we're getting ready to play a very good Lobo team, picked second in the preseason polls in the Mountain West on their home court. They're on a 6-game win streak. And so we have to do everything in our power to get ready for that game in 3 days.
I just wrote that you're on quite a roll with timeouts. Timeout in Boise changed the game, and the one tonight, you responded 25-4 run the end of the half and 40-4 overall. Take us through the timing of that, because the media was coming on the next stoppage. Well, I call that then, and what you told them to get.
Sometimes when you're not playing well, you have to take a timeout. We weren't playing well. So I just took a timeout, and then there's always the frantic nature. You're mad at the guys because they're not playing well, but it's early in the game, and if you start yelling at them, you take them out of any kind of mental state where they can come back and play well. So we had enough conversation where we told them areas we needed to get better in. We went to the bench, and Kimo came in and provided great energy, and we found a way to fight our way back into the game right away, which sometimes takes a lot longer to do. We went on a nice run and got ourselves right back in it and built a lead at halftime. So that's a credit to the kids not getting down and letting the coaches take them out of a rhythm because they weren't playing well. They had confidence in themselves. They believed in the game plan, and they came out and just performed better as the half went on.
What was it particularly that you liked about putting in Kimo in that situation that he adds on both sides of the court, be it like the movement and spacing offensively, how he tracks the ball on defense?
I just think, we weren't happy with how we were playing with the guys out there, and to take them all out, we needed Kimo. We didn't have Heidi and DeMarche, and so Kimo took advantage of the fact that we were shorthanded, and we took everybody out, and so he was there to put in, and so we put him in because Kimo's a good player. He practices well every day, but sometimes that doesn't mean you get minutes. But he got minutes today, and maybe that will spur him on to more minutes leading forward.
How hard is it for a guy who he's used to playing a lot, he's played 4 years and scored 39 points in a Division I game, to not play for so long in meaningful minutes, extended minutes, and then come on the court and play well?
He's just a great kid, and he works every day, and he doesn't let that affect him, that he's not playing in games. He doesn't pout. He doesn't feel sorry for himself. I told him after the game, I thought, I had a chance to be the next mayor of San Diego, but I said, I don't think I can beat you, Kimo. You're a crowd favorite. So Kimo may be the next mayor of San Diego. The crowd loves him, and the coaches love him. So he continues to bring that energy. He'll make positive contributions to this year's Aztec team.
Knowing Kimo's a San Diego native, does that, you think, make it even that much more sweeter for you watching?
Yeah, it's Wayne and him. Wayne had 8 critical points for us at Boise, 2 threes and a pull-up jump shot. And Wayne couldn't get it to go in today, but to have 2 kids that have played high school basketball in the city of San Diego contributing to their hometown team is great. Anybody loves that story. And I love that story, that we got these 2 kids that are San Diego kids playing for San Diego State University just as a joy to watch them out there and watch the crowd embrace hometown kids.
Coach, how close is Reese to returning from injury?
I think Reese gets another CT on the 20th, so we'll look at that and see where he's at, and then he'll have a decision to make if he's healthy, if he wants to come back, or if he wants to say, maybe I'll sit this year and come back for another year. I don't know. I haven't had that talk with him yet because he's not healthy enough to have that talk. So we'll have another scan. Obviously he's out of the boot. He's walking in a tennis shoe, and so he's healing, and he's out of the boot and walking on in 2 tennis shoes, which is always fun to see. So we'll see what the future holds for him when we get that next CT scan.
I just asked this to Jared, but you were leading the nation in blocks earlier this season. In the last few games, you haven't blocked nearly as many shots, yet your defense is just as effective. Do you think teams are watching film now and saying, man, these guys are going to block our shot if we go to the rim, and they're just shying away from it?
I don't know. I mean, we had a couple blocks today, and we had one goaltend that was close. I didn't see the replay. But we continue to protect the basket. You know, Goon can block shots. Jared blocked one tonight, I think, that got called a goaltend. And Bird's got length, too, so we got length, and that's hard to score over length around the basket. So I'm happy with our defense right now. I mean, I think they shot 14% the second half. So our defense has been good, and that's Aztec basketball. When our defense is good, our team is good.
Is the threat of a block shot sometimes just as good as a block shot in the mind?
If they're looking for the shot blocker, yeah, no question. You know, if they're looking around worried that someone's going to come over and block a shot, that always affects the game. So if they're thinking about that, that's a good thing for us.
One thing this season that, traditionally San Diego State teams have shot a lot more free throws than their opponents. You haven't done that this season. Again, I think tonight they shot 22, shot 19. Why do you think that is? And it's something, I know something you're working on, but what is it that you can do to make that better?
Yeah, as long as we're not getting to the line as much, but I like the fact that, these teams like Boise and some of these teams shoot twice as many as their opponent, but when we're playing them, we're staying pretty even. So as long as we stay even, we may not be a team that shoots twice as many as our opponent, but we don't want the opponent shooting twice as many as us. So we've played teams that are living at the foul line, and we haven't put those teams on the foul line, which is a good thing for us. It gives us a chance to win.
And Coach, just rewinding back to the first half, just really describe that energy and the tone and the mood when you guys are down for us. Just really take us through that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I felt there was plenty of time to come back, but we came back so fast. And that was based on our defense and fast break baskets and getting down the floor ahead of them, second chance opportunities. We scored it in every way you can. So the fact that we got back in it so quickly against a team that, if they want to, can run a lot of clock was a real credit to our guys. That we forced tempo, we had them uncomfortable, we were turning them over to get back in the game. So that's a credit to our guys not giving in and staying strong-minded at the defensive end.
Was there anything specific you said to them at that time that you remember?
No, I can't remember. Probably just continue to compete at a high level, do your job, ball pressure, talk to one another, get downhill to the basket, don't settle for so many pull-up jump shots. Let's get downhill, let's get to the rim. So we tried to do that a little bit more. I don't know if we did effectively, but then we made a few more shots, and that always helps.
You went small really early today, and that's when they made their run, and you went back to the 2 bigs. Why is it more effective with 2 bigs in there?
Just because we can run more of our offense. We can run more set plays. When we were going the guard lineup, we have a couple different motion offenses with ball screens, but we can't run all the different sets we have in because, the guards one of them we haven't made play a power forward yet where they know all the plays. So we have to develop some of them to know a few more of the set plays. And they may, but we haven't tried to run them with 4 guards in. We just play spread with ball screens and try to get downhill with the guards.
Coach, just a quick update on Heidi and Johnson. Is it too early to tell if they'll be available by Saturday morning?
I hope they are. I think they're both were running temps and had the flu, tested positive for the flu. So they're getting meds, and hopefully we'll feel better by the time we get to Albuquerque. So we didn't want to take a chance and play them today, have them have a setback because they're out there exerting stuff, and we want them ready for Albuquerque. So hopefully they'll both be ready to go. And hopefully it doesn't run through the rest of the team. It's sometimes when it gets started, you look up, and then a day from now we might have another guy, and a day from now another guy. So we're hoping it doesn't run through the team, but obviously you always know that's a possibility once it starts running in the locker room. You get a guy sick, another guy sick, and pretty soon you have 3 or 4 more guys sick. I hope that doesn't happen, but we can't control it at this point.
During the game, I think you guys led by as much as 40-4 during that run. Why wasn't Air Force able to stop you guys during that time?
I think we were just dialed in defensively. I think all 5 guys were out there just connected and playing for each other. And, it just led us to get multiple stops one after another.
How much did the defense really feed into building things offensively after that 11-minute mark? It seemed like there was less settling for jump shots and a lot more attacking the key.
Oh, yeah, I think just our pressure really just allowed us to, get more comfortable within the game. So with us being able to dictate them, like with our pressure, it just opened things up for us on offense too.
Coach really, he doesn't like to call his timeouts. He likes to save them. But when he calls one before media or when the media is about to come and he calls on the shock value of that, does that get your attention? Is that something that it's a rare occurrence?
Yeah, it's obviously it's like an eye-opening moment, but you can't get too fixated on it, especially as a player. You just got to be able to go out there and make the next play.
And he called one against Boise. You go on a 7-0 run. He calls one tonight. You close the half 25-4. What does it do to the team, either of you, when he calls those, and how does he refocus you guys?
I think with Coach Dutch, he can pretty much give you a look. You already know coming back to the offense to the timeout that it's like lock in. We're not playing to our standard, and it's just to reinforce those standards in the timeout and just let us know that it's time to, get back up to how we play basketball, defense and offense.
Jared, during the first half, turnovers were crucial for you guys. I think you guys ended up forcing 13 in the first half. How important was that?
It's super important. That's how we get going, especially in our front court. It's running through balls and playing pressure defense and makes it easier for the postman to get in the 3-quarter. So now we're not letting anything happen, and their play initiators are copped out. There's nothing they can do. We have such an aggressive front line when it comes to our guards. There's nothing they can do. They can't get in our offense. They can't run comfortable offense, and that's what people want to do when we watch film. So we just apply that pressure, and it gets them out of everything.
Jared, you guys, for a little while, were leading the country in blocks per game when you were second, and you started to slip. You guys haven't blocked that many shots in the last few games, yet your defense is still ramped up. Do you think other teams now have they seen film? Are you noticing guys aren't coming in there? What are you seeing out there? Because your defense is still really, really good. You just don't have the block numbers.
So I think with a lot of teams, they'll drive to the rim with the intention to pass it or catch the ball in the post with intent to pass because they know we'll block shots. So I think now what they're doing is trying to get us in a scramble, and we play a fix-it defense. So it's also super hard to get a leg up on us because we got guys running through gaps. You catch it on the wing off of a hammer pass, and you got Miles or BJ running through that. So it's like, we're really good in our rotations defensively, and I think that's what keeps us so high on the defensive charts and the defensive rankings.
Did you notice early in the season, guys are just coming in, trying to lay it in, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what it is. It's like, people will test and they'll watch film, and then all right, we have to adjust because we can't just drive it in and let Magoon swat a floater to BJ and let BJ get into transition with Bird, and Bird dunks the ball in the fast break, and now they're doing it over and over and getting us out of our stuff. So it's like, we had to adjust as well. They're not driving it to the rim to score. They're driving it to the rim to try to kick it out to get open shots. So, we just rotate even harder and play defense even harder and just stay in our stuff. It's a standard for us.
BJ, you have 11 points in a minute 55 tonight. Just take us through that. What did you see in that first shot, and what were you looking for? Did something click?
I just felt like it was there. Just felt like it was the right time for me to score the ball, and that's what I did. And yeah, it was good to get going like that, though. It was good to see the ball go in.
So you hit the 3, and then you hit a jumper off the dribble, and you hit a real contested 3. Was that second 3 a heat check? And you had a second heat check, or how did that?
Yeah, you could say that. I kind of knew I had him on that live dribble, so I jabbed him and then just kind of pulled up. It was a heat check a little bit, and it went in, so it was good.
And in that last one, it was pretty deep. You
Yeah, I just felt good. Kind of seen the situation, the big was on me, so stay aggressive in that moment when we got mismatches like that. So, yep.
What does that do for your confidence when you've had some stretches where or some games where you haven't scored a lot, you do more of a defensive force to show that it's still there?
It's good. Just it's good for the confidence, I guess, but it shouldn't affect my effort or nothing like that. And so, even if I'm not scoring, I mean, that's not really my focus right now. My focus right now is to just be the best I can for the team and give 100% effort defensively and offensively. So those are my focuses.
Jared, you had 10 offensive rebounds. The team had as many offensive rebounds as Air Force had total rebounds, coming off out rebounding Boise State by 10. How do you feel the rebounding mentality and attitude of this team has developed as the season's gone along, and for you personally as well?
Well, for the team and this far along, I think early in the season we had a little bit of struggles, but I just think that we see the ball go in a lot, so it's hard to think I'm gonna crash right now because I see Bird or BJ step into something, and I watch them shoot every day, so I'm like, that's good, and I just anticipate it going through. But I think now, as much as I trust their shots, it's just, it's about sending a message. We have to go to the glass. We have to. It's like a paint touch. So it's like if I get the rebound, that's a second shot. They can't do anything with us on the glass if we don't want them to. Even with Heidi was out today, but Heidi's tremendous for us on the old boards, on the old glass, and it's like just continuing to put that pressure on the old glass and continuing to beat down our opponents on the glass. It's just like it literally feels like you can't do anything. I can't do anything with them. I can't guard BJ on the perimeter. I can't guard Bird. I can't stop the bigs from getting to the glass. It's just the overwhelming feeling. And, we've been on the other side of that, but we decided it was time for us to, do what we're supposed to do. So.
What are both your thoughts on Kimo? I mean, he's obviously an instant crowd favorite, any local kid, but I mean, how happy were you to see? The guy has barely played, come in and played major minutes and played pretty well.
I was ecstatic, just seeing what he brings and what he puts out every day, and to see him and to see him go out there and for the crowd to react like that is awesome. It's just awesome to see that.
Yeah, I think the best thing is just like Kimo doesn't play a lot, but when he comes out there, it's like he's been playing the whole game. He brings the effort. He swings the whole energy of the game. Kimo came out and played incredible defense, and it swung the whole energy. It swung our whole energy as a team. So I got tons of respect for Kimo, and I hope he just continues to get more minutes for us because I know he's a crowd favorite, but he's really a good basketball player. So I want people to see that.
Your thoughts on your first double-double of the season? I know you've had them before, but your first double-double of the season.
I should have got one earlier.
Huh?
I should have got one earlier.
BJ, Luka and Taylor entering tonight was 5th in the nation in minutes played. Did you guys have a game plan to make sure you guys wore him out?
I wouldn't say wear him out, just make him uncomfortable though. Try to, do what we can to disrupt his timing and his rhythm and just really make sure he's pressured out there at all times.
And just a question for either of you, just to rewind again back to that first half. Just really take me through that emotion you're feeling when you guys are down. Just take me through that.
Sometimes as a good team, it's Air Force is a great team. They run a great offense and they run a really incredible defense. And sometimes it's hard to play against that defense because it's a switch matchup zone. Like it's just a lot of things. So it's like for us to be down and feel that energy and well, for us as a team, it doesn't really feel like we're down. It feels like we're just fighting out of a hole that we put ourselves in effort-wise. And usually it's always effort. So it's like just playing hard, not playing down to the competition, but playing to our standard every time. I think that's what the mindset was, and that's why we came back and prevailed. I think we put ourselves in that position sometimes, and in recent games we have too, but I think we're just learning now to not even let it get there. And tonight we let it get there, but we responded. So, it's all about just responding. You're in the moment, down 12, respond. So that's all it is. It's just a response mindset.